British North America Inquiry, Nova Scotia, by Penelope. Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, a maritime province as well as the second smallest province in Canada, and where famous inventor Alexander Graham Bell grew up. There is much to know about this great province. So what started it all? Settlement. Let's talk about it. What affected settlement to Nova Scotia? Politics. Some ways in which politics can affect settlement are: Nova Scotia had many people who had large voices in politics having differing opinions on whether Nova Scotia should join Confederation, like John Howe, who was against it, and Charles Tupper, who was for it, not to mention the many supporters they had. Regardless if you were for or against Confederation, this could have been somewhat confusing and may have led you to be unsure about settling here. Social. In what ways can certain social environments affect settlement? Many of the settlers to Nova Scotia were of Irish origin, so the culture of the province would reflect that. If you were used to a different culture, it may have been extremely hard for you to adapt, and you may not have wanted to settle here. Sustainability. How can sustainability affect settlement? Some popular jobs were fishing, and forestry. These were good jobs, but were not very sustainable to the environment. If you were worried about this, you may not have wanted to settle here. Economics. Economics affected settlement to Nova Scotia by: many jobs were available to people in Nova Scotia, like shipbuilding, working on railways, and farming. These jobs required hard labor, but paid well. If you weren't a fan of the job choice, you may not have wanted to settle here. Environment. Some ways that environment can affect settlement are: Nova Scotia has lots of water around it, is fairly small, has many mountains, plains, and forests. The temperature can be cold to very warm. If this is not appealing to you, you may be less inclined to settle here. And this is just a video. I'm not going to show all of it since it is about 2 minutes long. It's just showing off the environment in Nova Scotia. Stop there. More about Nova Scotia. What are some urban legends about Nova Scotia? In Nova Scotia, there are many urban legends. These are just some of them. The Maiden's Cave. The story goes that a captain of a British ship was killed by an Italian pirate named Dino. That captain had a daughter. Since the girl was so beautiful, Dino decided to spare her, but continuously wanted her attention. After she wounded Dino, he wanted her to walk the plank, but she was saved last minute when a ship came close to them and Dino got scared and let the girl live, fearing being caught. Then a storm approached. When it cleared, Dino saw an island filled with jewels and decided to throw the girl in a cave on the island. She would always yell until the day that she died, and her remains were found by a Micmac tribe. It is said that if you go near the cave, you can still hear her cries. The Tale of Lucy Clark. Lucy Clark lived on a farm in the early 1900s with her parents and siblings. One day her parents go out and ask her and her brother to feed the pigs, but to remember to close the hatch. Of course, being the children that they are, they forget to close the hatch, and the pigs got out. After chasing most of the pigs back in the pen, 2 were left out. Lucy's brother just decided to kill them with an axe. Unfortunately, her brother's aim was terrible, and he struck poor Lucy. Not wanting to get caught, he threw her body in a river. It is said that if you walk by, you can still see her hand reaching out from the water. What is the population? The population of Nova Scotia is 959,942. What are some famous people from Nova Scotia? Some well-known people from Nova Scotia are Ellen Page, who's an actress, Sidney Crosby, who's a hockey player, George Cleveland, who's an actor, and he acted in 180 movies from 1933 to 1954, George Mercer Dawson, who is a scientist, and Boardman Robinson, who is an artist/cartoonist, and many, many more. Thank you for watching, and these are my sources.